Okay.
All right, we're live. We're good. Everybody, hello. 3 times.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow, that was really.
Hello.
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 Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I like this intro.
Hey, look, that intro is much better than Hellpockets yelling hello 3 times at people.
Oh, you mean hello, hello, hello?
Yeah, because apparently I was told by a fan that I yell too loud into the mic, so we're making some adjustments for that.
You can still be excited without yelling.
No, that's not. That's impossible. You need to.
You have not seen me. I'm always excited. People just don't realize it.
Anthony,
Everybody
you need
thinks
to
you look
check your
angry.
You need to check your excitement privilege.
Exactly. Gibby, you're just afraid of throwing your back out every time you stand up.
That's accurate.
Yep, this is very true.
Yes.
So, action-packed week this past week, I think.
Maybe.
Plenty of things happened. Tonight, we may or may not be joined by one Flexander Sanchez. Not sure yet. We'll find out when he decides to pop in randomly.
He's on a mission. Mission from God.
And that's to parry all the IT stuff in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Are they paying him
So-
overtime?
He's salaried, I believe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say he's a salary man.
Oh.
Yeah. So, for those of you who've been watching IPW for the past hour or two, you'd have noticed that Hellpockets and I were playing Samurai Shodown 2 on the daily blow-up. And we kind of sort of sucked it up, but it was fun. It was entertaining for people, since people were enjoying it.
I had a
And-
good time.
Yeah. So, we're doing our daily blow-up series, and Lord Walkman just started his daily blow-up series, which he did before the EVO announcement. And, Walkman, what did you think? How'd you do?
I wasn't too sure. I was a little anxious at first when I was doing it, but I'm like, well, I'm just going to do it anyways, you know? Because I was like, oh, I should probably practice up before this and kind of get my bearings back. I'm like, you know what? Forget that. I'm just going to suck it up on stream and just, upload it later. People could see how terrible I truly am. But I mean, as terrible as my Philly is, at least my Cerebella is still slightly mediocre. That being said, the response was actually really good. I was really surprised at that. I mean, I think it was definitely an opportune time for me to strike because people were waiting for the EVO games and we had nothing to do beforehand. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to take the opportunity and just go in. I think I had like 200 or 300 viewers concurrently, and on YouTube the archive's up. It's like 1,200 right now, so I'm really happy about that. As for that, as long as nothing goes wrong or nothing else happens, I kind of want to do another one tomorrow sometime in the afternoon. So, yeah.
Man, you'd be busy.
Yeah, just we'll keep you up to date on that either on the SDR Twitter, or any of our Twitters and the IPW Twitter. Just keep an eye out for it. Follow the accounts.
So I have 2 questions regarding the daily blow-up.
Yes.
1, when are we doing the daily blow-up starring Kelly yelling at people in Final Fantasy XIV?
God.
And 2, at SCR, can we do one live
Yes.
where we just yell at each other playing Breakers?
Oh,
That's
that'd
what I
be
wanted
awesome.
to do actually. So here, okay. So let's just get one out of the way. You need to talk to management. Okay. 2. That's definitely going to happen. We are going to have a very long daily blow-up session where we're just playing and shooting the shit, and you're going to hear a lot of yelling and a lot of mean-spirited people while I'm beating the crap out of people with crouch C. It's going to be great.
Probably a lot of Urya and Kadabura and Hoo-hoo.
Spinning
And
claw.
some bird frogs.
You gotta get the whole
I'm
crowd
like,
yell, "Bird frog!"
Like some of the shit that I say, like alone in my room while I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV, like would get me arrested.
Well done.
Yeah. But yeah, the Breakers thing would be neat. I probably wouldn't be taking part of it because I'll be at the booth most of the time, but I'll try.
We gotta relieve
Well, I
you
figure
every
we could
now
always
and then.
record it late at night and then show it the following week or something like that.
That's true.
That way we could get everybody involved.
That's true. So, yeah. Also with the daily blow-ups, the Breakers Revenge daily blow-up, Hellpockets and I did a few weeks ago, is up live on YouTube. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's one of the latest videos on the iPlay Winner YouTube account.
Definitely
check it
one
out.
of the most entertaining.
Give it a like. Bird Frog. It ends pretty poorly because Time Warner, being the amazing internet provider that they are, decided to cut my service Lost bird frogging the hell out of Hellpockets, and then,
They're like, this guy's being a scumbag. Cut his line.
yep. So yeah, it just ends pretty. It ends at the end of a match at least. So that's good. That's good. And yeah, I think that about covers it for the stuff.
Our Market of Wolves replay is also up.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't see that one.
it's right underneath it.
It's that one. Well, that one's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, what is pretty hilarious because it's just like it's the classic bullet between me and you, where it's just like, wow, this game looks. Oh God, Hellpockets, no.
No.
That sounds like every time I watch you play games, Chris.
Yeah, that's pretty much me to myself. Like, why, Chris? Why do you do these things? You make your daughter cry.
Yeah, this is true. I heard her crying while I was playing it. It was very true.
Why you so
So-
daddy?
She was just really upset.
Yep. So, yeah, be sure to check those out and subscribe to All the I Play Winner on all the social media and all the media sites, all the YouTubes, all the Twitches, and all that stuff. And don't forget, subscribe here. It's only $5 a month. The more people we get to subscribe, the higher the chance we get a bird frog emote. Think about that, people.
That
You
would be
can
awesome.
Spam bird frog. Screw this Kappa bullshit. You will have bird frog. Bird frog is OP. Remember that. Okay? Bird frogs, the god.
That's
I
true.
think bird frog needs to be like multiple emotes. Actually, there needs to be like a bird frog emote, and then there needs to be the spike ball that the frog shoots out as like a separate one.
That needs to be animated.
Yeah,
I'm
that'd
not-
be cool.
Can we do animated? I know I've seen some before. I think I've seen
I
one.
think they've toned down on the number of animated, emotes they allow, but I know that there are still some out there.
Do we need bird?
They might have
frog
got
shirts?
grandfathered in.
Bird frog shirts. Do we need that? Would it be a real thing then?
That would be awesome. I have no idea who owns those rights anymore.
Well, if it's just bird frog, I think technically nobody does because they're animals.
No, you know who owns bird frog? The people own bird frog.
Well, the
All right.
people want to own bird frog, so hopefully we can make that happen. But don't hold your breath at the moment.
I can't hold my breath. I'll die.
Well, no, you won't because you'll
You
pass
pretty
out
much
and
would
it'll
die
separate.
from somebody pushing you over. So,
Exactly. See, Paul understands
A
this.
house of glass.
yes.
So yeah, outside of all that, last week pretty big.
Yeah.
Right after Lord Walkman's daily blow up, they went straight into the Evo announcements with Mr. Wizard.
Oh yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Bravely Default coming out.
That was, see, this is the thing. That wasn't big for me because I didn't get the game. See,
I
haven't
don't
heard-
have it either, but everybody else I know did, and
Yeah.
all they're doing is talking about it.
Well, I mean, I went and bought my copy, and when I say bought, I use the term loosely, and I'm happy about that. But we should be getting them in a week. Then I'll start bragging. But right now, whatever. So, Evo games announced. Paul, do you remember what all the Evo games are?
I think the biggest news coming out of Evo Games is that KI made it, and no 3D game made it.
Yep.
So obviously, for those who weren't paying attention, living under a rock, obviously Ultimate Marvel, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Injustice, BlazBlue, Chrono Phantasma, let's see, KI,
King of Fighters
King of Fighters, which was sort of
And-
a surprise.
Yeah.
and tentative Smash Brothers.
Yeah, and Smash Brothers pending approval from Nintendo.
God, I
So
can't
7
imagine
games.
that they wouldn't approve it after what happened last year.
Yeah, you would think so, and especially with apparently Smash is going to be an MLG this year.
Yep.
So it would maybe that's part of the problem.
Yeah, I think it might be also because we ran into that when they tried to pick up KOF 13.
So that'll be interesting.
You think they might have just like bought all like American broadcast rights to it, and so
Well, MLG, from what I've known in the past, does do things like that, especially regarding I know player footage. That as in they own all the footage they do.
Yeah.
So, and they actually sometimes try to sign exclusivity rights to players, or at least they did in the past. I don't know if this is current.
Well,
So,
the whole thing with them possibly locking people out from doing Smash tournaments would be smart on their part from a business standpoint, meaning they'd have monopoly on the Smash market. If you hold a Smash tournament, guess what? You need to go to MLG to hold it or to play it. That's the way it would work. Would that benefit the community? It's a toss-up. There would be more money involved, but then once again, it's the MLG tournaments are capped at 128.
yeah.
That doesn't help anyone.
I also don't think the Smash players are really in it for more of the money, but it seems more like the glory.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, they just want to play.
Yeah, and I really like
What
that.
a good attitude to have, and
The-
not, just wanting to get $1 billion.
Well, the Smash community.
Well, I mean, if
reminds
you're going
me-
to give me $1 billion, I'm going to take it.
Well, yeah, I can't. None of us can argue with that. The Smash community really does remind me of the old fighting game community. And when I say the old fighting game community, I mean just everything. I want to say pre-05,
Back
04,
before
even
people-
before then.
So
Before
you're
like
basically saying back before people got anything more than $2,000 for pot.
2000, try like 500.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember we were happy to give $500?
No, 500 was the most people were getting.
Yeah, I
That's what
know.
I'm trying to get at. Like back then, it was just for the glory. It's like, yo, I'm the best. West Coast the best. SoCal the best. East Coast the best. New York the best. Stuff like that. Now it's like, oh, I don't even want to do this anymore. Why am I? Oh, what? Tell my butler to go wash my Lambo for me, James. Go. I'm not talking about James Chen. I'm just throwing out.
Sure,
names.
you're not talking about
And
James.
James
Chen.
decided to pop out because we were
You say
giving.
James Chen is your butler?
Yeah.
No, he's saying James Chen is his man. There's a difference between having a man and a butler,
That's
sir.
true.
Come on. God.
Yeah, that's a big issue. But in terms of like Evo games, a lot of people say they're surprised there's not a 3D game in the lineup, and I wasn't surprised when Tekken Tag wasn't announced because Tekken Tag last year had like 300 players.
Yeah, it was, from what I've been told, because I asked around a little bit, the biggest, supposedly the biggest Tekken Tag tournament of the year, but it was also one of the lowest numbered games at EVO.
Yeah, it was the second lowest game, right after Mortal Kombat and Tekken 2 or Tekken Tag 2 were the two lowest.
And Mortal Kombat was a game that people were saying was already dead.
Yep.
It's not really a good look.
No, it's not. Like King
That's-
Fight. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on, Paul.
Oh, I was saying, that being said, there's already a lot of efforts from unofficial to get an unofficial tag tournament going at EVO. They want it to be big. I know Armando, IE Battlegrounds, has basically put it out there saying he wants people to show up or else he is not going to work with the Tekken community anymore. And people are telling me that Markman has said he wants to do something for the community as well at EVO. So
Oh yeah,
That could be huge.
Mark Minda said he's already working on a side tournament for Tekken. And wow, I was going to say something else. Yeah, the one thing that this could open the door for. This is completely off topic with Evo, but it could open the door for Strong Style to come back.
And I was saying that the other day, that I was thinking maybe with EVO not being a focus for people's travel plans, if they're only playing Tekken, that maybe, God willing, Bronson could get off his ass and do Strong Style this year.
He did
Well,
say something
no
about
promises.
working on something here.
Yeah,
No
and
promises.
Bronson has been more active again. He's streaming now. So that could be a good sign.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know what Strong Style is, it's a NorCal Tekken tournament held by Bronson Tran, the man who got second place last year at Evo in Tekken Tag Tournament 2. It's considered to be one of the most prestigious tournaments for the Tekken community outside of, Final Round, I think.
And it was a hell of a lot of fun. I got to go to Strong Style 4 in early 2010, I want to say. And that sounds right, but I can't remember. I'm getting old. I'm losing my memory. But it was a great experience. So it was a great tournament, great experience.
So yeah, I
It
would
was just a
hope.
lot of fun seeing a lot of people from across the generations because they ran both Tag 1 and Tekken 6 at Strong Style. So, and Tag 1, the grand finals were exciting. The entire crowd got into it. That game, people don't necessarily want to play it actively as much, but when you actually see a tournament take place, it gets the crowd hyped. The game's exciting.
I still think Tag 1's the most exciting Tekken to watch.
I think so too. I think it's easily the most fun and the most exciting, and probably the hardest to be good at. To learn the basics, especially with some of the easier characters like Ogres or even Devil Kazuya, it's not really that hard to get into, although there are some more precise inputs. But when you want to get to that upper echelon with the backdash canceling and just knowing all your weird situational information, it's a tough game.
I can't say I know anything about it outside of watching it and some stuff, but I never really did play the game much. So there's that.
Yeah. Now,
Tell
you were
us.
saying about KOF.
Oh, with KOF, okay, so Tekken was still alive. People are still entering Tekken tournaments. They're still playing Tekken, like in weeklies and random events around the country. KOF, on the other hand, isn't doing that well. You could say it's been on life support since Evo ended. The only time it's done well is at some majors. And by done well, I mean it gets like 40-ish people. That's still a good number, considering most tournaments don't really get past, 50 or 60. But the one thing about KOF is that it brings in international players. A ton of international players. I think they said last year 38% of the player base for King of Fighters was all international, which was the highest turnout for any scene from international crap. So that's one thing that can or I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they chose to bring in King of Fighters. On top of that, the King of Fighter players who only enter King of Fighters, just like the Blaze Blue players only enter Blaze Blue. So you have Blaze Blue, KOF, and what was the other game? Smash. If those three games, or Smash makes it in, those three will all be pretty much, I want to say 85% unique entries, each of them.
I can believe
That's
that.
pretty crazy.
And that's good for Evo, for multiple reasons. One, it'll help them bring sponsors in the future. They can say, oh, look, we had this many unique entries for all across the board. Two, it helps give them money. Three, big numbers.
It's also a fresh pool.
Yeah.
Instead of just over carrying over.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that while in the scenes that KOF got started in America and got big, yeah, it's on life support. But there are a lot of smaller scenes in America that have been picking up the reins on that. You know, we got a lot of guys in the Northwest, got some East Coast guys, Midwestern guys playing KOF, and they're doing good work. So, I mean, I can't say it's dead here, but yeah, it is kind of on that weird level where, we know people still play it, but they're not really put out there that much. And that's okay, because they don't have to be front and center. They just got to show up to Evo.
Yeah.
Or to any other major that it runs at. I think everybody's just let's be honest, everybody's still a little sad that it's not at the run back anymore because nobody showed up, and we're all sad that Southtown shut down.
Let me just correct you on that. It's not that it's not at the run back anymore. It's still at the run back, but no one enters.
Okay,
one shows up.
that's what I mean. They're sad that nobody's showing up for it anymore.
No, and I just want to clarify this one more time. One person shows up every week. He is legitimately the SoCal Grand Champion of King of Fighters. Paul, do you know who that man is?
Is it Miles Wallace?
It is indeed Mild Wallace. People need to understand, Mild Wallace has shown up to Super Arcade every week and has won every single King of Fighters 13 tournament that people have not seen. Oh, no one entered, no one played. Guess what? Mild Wallace entered. He didn't have to play because he won. He is the champion.
You're telling me if you go out and if you support your game and nobody else does, but you continue to do it anyways, you become grand champion?
You know who else believed that? But we can't say his name on stream?
Don't do it. Shut up. I will find you and I will stab you with my love. Because apparently it says I love you on Twitter.
I know what the hell is that?
Chris, you brought up the Northwest, Seattle, with King of Fighters. They've actually been putting in a lot of work just over the past year or two. Now, not just recently, but they've been doing it for a while. They just don't get as much attention as other scenes do.
Right.
In general, that scene gets absolutely no attention, which sucks because they have a lot of good players just all around for
it's a very
Street
healthy
Fighter,
area.
Marvel, King of Fighters, everything. I don't know about anime games. Paul,
Well,
do you
they've
know
got some anime killers up there, too.
Yeah, PNW. Obviously, PNW is home to Spark, the winner of the first Blaze Blue tournament at Evo, along with a lot of really strong players like Veteru, old Guilty Gear player, plays some Blaze Blue. I don't know if he does now. Adelaide Stark is up there. Jace is up there. Huey, well-known Blaze Blue player, is up there. There's a lot of really strong players.
And
So,
But like Gibby said, they're just kind of, under the radar right now because I mean, it's probably just the nature of the scene, really. I feel like as far as stream viewership goes, people have gotten comfortable in what they're ready to watch versus looking for new stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to jump into a new situation and just say like, oh, hey, who are these people? Oh, they're kind of good. I might watch this for a little bit, and then you just sort of tune out after a while because either you're really not that interested in the first place, or you were just trying to kill time so you could watch some bigger stream or something. And it's just hard for a lot of these lower end or these smaller communities to get off the ground and like get noticed. And I don't think they should be doing it for the notoriety anyway. I think they should just be like, you know, the old days, like I just want to be good at my game.
Yeah.
And that's all. That
Yeah,
matters.
the Midwest has been coming alive too as far as KOF. They seem to get good numbers. I know they got, I want to say they got 40 or 50 at Faustings,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
and I think they did pretty well at UFGT last year as well.
Yeah, I think
So-
UFGT was the second or third biggest tournament of the year for King of Fighters. Yeah, I think
So
they said
it's
they had
one of the-
93 people or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right. It's one of those things where obviously it's harder for a lot of those guys. As I've talked about in the past, it's really hard for the Midwest to meet up at tournaments because from Omaha to Chicago to Missouri and then the other states in between, Oklahoma, Minnesota, all those states are more than 6 hours almost. So from St. Louis to Chicago, it's at least a 4 to 5 hour drive. From St. Louis to Omaha, it's 6 to 8, if I remember correctly. And from Chicago to Omaha, it's roughly about the same. And then, of course, you have people in Iowa, Oklahoma, Minnesota who are all varying distances away from that. So you're not going to see a lot of, you know, weeklies and monthlies get numbers, but when they all have that chance to come out, they will. You just have to give them a destination time.
Right. And so, and I think that keeps KOF relevant as far as the American scene goes. And then you couple that with the international scene that we discussed earlier, who, you know, it's not just the people that show up; it's the people that watch. You know, like Joey said, this thing turns on at like 8 a.m. and there's like already 80K watching it. So.
Well, we've discussed that, how
Yeah.
if KOF came back this year, it wasn't necessarily going to be about Americans playing the game. It was going to be about everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's actually really cool because we've been talking about EVO being a world finals, and this is a game where it really feels like a world finals.
Yeah.
It's not just people from Japan and some people from Korea like it is for Street Fighter mostly. Although Street Fighter is getting a much bigger pool of players too from across the world, so
It
that's
is.
really great to see.
Yeah.
But KOF is like the World Cup of fighting games, to be completely honest. People come from everywhere playing that damn game. And it's
true.
places that you don't necessarily hear a lot being really good at fighting games, and then you find out, holy shit, these guys are amazing at this game. So, it's always great to see.
And then,
So-
well, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we're gonna see how things go with KOF this year. I'm hoping that now that it's been announced for Evo, people start showing up again to the run back. Or if something new starts up. I noticed some of the SoCal guys are trying to start up another day. They want to do things on Saturdays now, which I understand, but it just depends on if Watts will allow them to do it, because the KOF guys have been saying for well over a year or two that they've wanted to do events on the weekend, and Watts held events on the weekend and no one showed up. So
I think... Oh, sorry, finish.
no, I was just going to say, pretty much left Watts and Mondo with a bad taste in their mouths. That's it.
No, I think you're exactly right. But I think if there's maybe a show of good faith, I think there could be coming up, especially after SCR, if SCR ends up getting good numbers, there might be a show of faith, maybe one tournament on a Saturday as part of something else. Like, hey, you want this, we're going to give it to you, and this is going to be the litmus. Do you want it or not? If you're going to show up, we'll keep doing it. And if you don't, we're not going to have it anymore.
Yeah. That's kind of also what I wanted to say about the Evo Games list, and from what I saw, the reaction to Skullgirls not being there. And I just want to touch up on it a little bit from my personal point of view, not from anyone else, but I saw people felt that Skullgirls again was slighted for not being a main stage tournament. But I gotta say, honestly, with like how few people kind of play it. I mean, there's not a few people, but in like a big tournament kind of scene, people just really need to get out there and play the game. And I'm not saying people aren't. I'm just saying it's kind of weird when you can raise $829,000 and yet this community still seems small. All right, the stream is back up again. It's going. Let's see if. Ugh. Oh. Hey, Chris. I think we're back. Are you streaming or?
No.
Okay, because I am.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Are we back yet, folks? It's the video looks like it's loading.
It's loading, and I just got a notification. iPlayWinner is now streaming.
Oh boy, we got killed by the curse of Skullgirls. That's what I can bring,
Oh, good lord. Wow.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we're back. Everyone, we apologize for what just happened there. Comcast is a terrible internet service.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. There's nothing more to say about that.
No. No, you were saying before you were so rudely interrupted by Comcast.
I was just saying that for people in the Skullgirls community, if you feel slighted, or anyone from any community that your game didn't make it to EVO, don't hold any grudges or anything. Continue to play your game. Try and build your scenes, be it online or local. It doesn't matter. Play your game. You can make $829,000 for, Lab Zero to keep producing their game. Surely there's got to be people out there that want to play it. You can join Skullbats that already exist. You can go to find the Steam community, hit up Skullheart, and just see what's in the area, local matchmaking. If not, make something yourself, or just even question anything. And the same could be said for all communities, that you could just make sure that you continue to support your game. And I'm sure, more likely than not, there will be, side tournament at EVO, regardless of what happens. And the more support that people show up for and continue to play the game, who knows, maybe it can become an official side tournament and still get some stream time, much like it did last year. And just, at that point, if there really are people that show up, because, I mean, like we said, the King of Fighters community, people haven't really been doing too much, but because of an international scene, strong, people do play it. And if you just continue to support any game that you want to play and can get the bodies into the room to play the game with you, there's no limit. I mean, we could have a non-Capcom EVO, like, if people just didn't play the games, but they do, and they still show up and play them. So that's the bottom line, is just make sure you support what you really want to play and believe in, regardless of numbers or anything like that. So I think that's all I had to say. I was interrupted, and the words aren't nearly as eloquent as I had originally had thought up in my mind. But
The bottom line is don't put Sword Art Online characters in a fucking fighting game.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that was terrible.
So, does anybody want to explain that one?
Okay, so in the new Dengeki Bunko fighting game, there is the main character Kirito from Sword Art Online now playable in the roster. And if you're anybody that has, any kind of taste or anything, that feels like a big no bueno on my part.
That feels like a big...
Oh god. It's just like, he's such a standard, he's there for dudes who wish that they would get trapped in an online game to self-insert into. Oh man, he has all these cool powers that no one else in the game has. I wish that I could get trapped in a video game and be the most special person and have all the chicks dig me. Ugh. And now they're like, I'm gonna put him in a fighting game. I can't deal with this. When you guys told me that he was getting put in last night, I just made the most violent retching noise in real life, and was really wishing that you had just told me live so that I could just have my total meltdown on air.
It's horrible because I can actually imagine what that sounded like because I've heard it in the past.
Yep.
I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I'm sure that character is going to have a 10-0 matchup with the entire cast because he's going to have Deus Ex Machina as his special ability.
That's the problem. It's just I suffered through that show.
I didn't even bother.
And
you did it to yourself.
I did, but I suffered through that show, and the whole deal is like, no one else can like dual wield friggin' swords, but for some reason he can, and he has like 2 very special swords and a very special coat that no one else has. And
Sounds like shit. I don't understand. I don't even want to see it, and I haven't even seen it before. I don't know how you managed to watch the whole damn thing.
I was looking through the rest of the roster for like the other characters that were put in, and like there's some actually like pretty cool things in that game, but like then I see him and I'm just like, oh, anime games are dead. Bye.
He's like that guy that doesn't get invited to the party, but he's like a neighbor and he shows up uninvited anyways. Nobody
Dead
wants to
Oh man, that guy.
Yeah.
And every time he does, like, he thinks that everyone really wants him there. Like, he somehow, like, missed the invitation. So he's, like, doing you a favor by,
Yeah.
like, he's just like, oh, man, there's a party going on? Like, oh, I must have just, like, not gotten the invitation. They must be so upset that I'm not there right now.
What would they ever do without me?
Like,
And secretly, everybody just didn't want him to show up at all.
Yeah.
I'm here. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Anyway, I have opinions. Bye.
Well, okay, moving on from that. So last week also we got the announcement that UFGT 10 will be the last UFGT ever. And for those who haven't checked, I caught up with Adam Hart, aka Keats, earlier today to ask him a few questions about the end of UFGT and his ideas and plans going forward. That's up on iPlayWinner right now. But it's interesting to see that while this will be the last Ultimate Fighting Game tournament, Keats hasn't ruled out possibly returning to help organize something different because he just doesn't want to disappoint people by calling something UFGT when he can't put all of that time and effort into it. So, going to be interesting to see what happens going forward with that.
To be fair, he holds the ultimate fighting game tournament. So, from here on out forth, it might just be the super fighting game tournament.
The kind of cool, pretty decent.
Maybe
Fighting
not
game.
super. Maybe we can compromise on mega, but it's not going to be ultimate.
Oh, he can't be the Omega tournament?
No.
If you were to call it the Ducker's Ball, then I might consider going.
Never. Ducking forever. Just hit Gibby with overheads because he's ducking all the time.
Oh damn!
Oh,
I really want to go. Just damn it, I'm broke every time it happens. I was supposed to
Aren't
go
you sponsored by Arcade
last
Shop?
year. Yeah, I'm a different type of sponsorship. I go to certain things.
They actually make him do things.
Indentured
But
sponsor
actually what you're
too.
saying is you're the worker. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, you got to work. You can't go to this tournament. Oh, shucks. That's pretty much how it goes. And I'm not joking. Last UFGT, I had to work. UFGT before then, I was 2 UFGTs ago, I had to work. This past UFGT, I was broke. I really want to go because I consider Keats a really good friend of mine, and I just want to go out there, hang out with him, see Chicago, and yell at people in the tournament. 'Cause that's what I do. I don't yell at people by talking shit to them. I help run a tournament. And then I yell at them because they think they're divas. I don't care what
yes.
they are. It's really fun to do that.
Not
But
divas.
yeah, if you're in the Midwest or if you have a chance to go, I suggest going. I don't know anyone who hated going UFGT.
I
other
do.
than- no, like it's real people that hate going UFGT. Okay, like everyone I know who went that doesn't expect to get like top 8 or place pretty much. They enjoy themselves. Everyone else is like, oh, you know, such and such big name hated UFGT. Well, I'm going to join him because I'm a fan of his. And that's the garbage they do, and it really pisses
I
me
feel like
off.
you had an ascot on.
I do have an ascot on right now.
Oh, okay.
The
Just
funny thing is, the people that did say that were so far from ascots, they were more like, you know,
Ass
All
hats.
right. I don't think we need to go there.
Oh, the ass hats is fine.
Oh, okay. I just thought he was going somewhere a little.
Yeah, I know. That's why I
More
interrupted with ass
specific.
hats. Yes, yes. But it's a good tournament. Keats has something for everyone to do. It's not just the fighting game tournament. So you can go there, play fighting games, and when you're knocked out of the tournament, hey, you can go play something that his dad made, a.k.a. Papa Keats.
I want to go there and
I've
crush
been-
everyone in the mystery game tournament.
That's what I want to do too. That's that. Okay, Josh, Nerd Josh needs to go. I really do think Nerd Josh can win.
He went last year, didn't he? He made like top 8.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he was like 5th.
He's gone once in the last couple of years, and I can't remember which year.
I think it was last year.
I can't. That sounds right to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually remember
I don't
the
know. I've
Double
been a pretty
Dragon
big
was up
proponent
there.
of going to UFGT. I've been the last couple of years. I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to make this year due to financials, but I think I'm going to try, if I can swing it, no promises, to make it out because this is going to be the last one.
Yeah, that's why I really want to go this time too, just because it's gonna be the last one, and Keats is my boy and all that junk. But people who talk shit about the tournament. So Keats pays out, all right. You get exactly what he says you're gonna get. Okay. Big games, big prizes, sick trophies. He pays out.
And when
Like,
you're
serious,
supposed to report to your pools, that's the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I've been having trouble wrapping my head around this for the past year or two. Why do people hate his tournament? There's the tournament itself, whether or not people like or hate Keats, his tournament is a good tournament. Okay, people have been. I've seen people compare him to John Nelson. I do not understand this.
Yeah, what the hell? That's like way off.
Keats like, hey guys, I'm gonna hold this tournament. This is how it's gonna work. And then, oh hey, I'm the community is just gonna complain 3 weeks after or 3 weeks before the tournament starts, even though the schedule's been up for 8 months. I don't get it. Simple as that. I really don't understand. People are dumb. People are lazy. People are people.
Wow, that was profound.
I know.
People be messing up.
Yeah, I opened up a box of Cheerios this morning and a big golden light was flashing inside, and I just had that vision right now. It was
You're like, man, people are people.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
That's deep.
Epiphany meme.
No, but Paul, you've been to his tournaments. Like,
Yeah.
What is there anything negative that like all these negative things people bring up? Do you agree with it? Disagree? What?
I have never had a negative experience at Ultimate Fighting Game Tournament.
Okay.
Basically, pools run when they're supposed to, which is nice because that means you know when you should be down there. You're not waiting around. It's just convenient. And you always get out with enough time every night to be able to play casuals. You know, people want to just hang out. They're not just going to sit around and play. If you want to just hang out with people, people will do that. So I've always had fun.
Don't they have a huge venue too, which is super nice?
I didn't check to see what the venue was. If it's the one from last year, it was really nice. But I
think
don't
it's
know
the
which
same
one
one.
it is. If it is, then yeah, it's a really good venue.
Thing like beautiful on stream. Like everything was like there was plenty of room for everyone to do anything, and apparently there was tons of stuff to do.
Yeah, it was great. Simply having on Sunday there was a lot of room in the ballroom for side tournaments too, which was nice. So we got to run Guilty Gear on Sunday in a timely manner, and we got it done before nighttime. So everybody was happy.
That's good.
How rare.
So, the OGT last year, it's going to be pretty good. Another big tournament coming up this year, which is, what, I think it's a month away now?
Yeah, it's
Is-
about a month away.
Final round 16.
I think we've missed that the last 3 years in a row.
Yeah, no, I've missed final round the past 10 years in a row. Wait, is it? No. 13 years in a row. Jesus.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Gibby
Blanc-
stays ducking.
Well, Shin Blanc has been asking me to go out for years, and I haven't gone out. He just wants me to go out there and play people in old SNK games and either get my ass beat or beat the crap out of him. Because he insists there's people out there that could beat me. And I insist that I'm going to beat the shit out of them. We'll see. I mean, I've beaten all those players online with no problems at all. I don't see why I would have any issues in person. Whatever. Yeah, the final round 16 this year is going to be huge, apparently. Usually it's Team Spooky that streams it, but apparently it's going to be Capcom streaming it this year.
Oh.
I don't know. Now, see, that's what was not clear is whether Capcom's going to stream the whole thing, or if Capcom will be streaming part of it, or
Yeah.
even having their own stream.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to figure out. Because the way it's worded,
is awkward.
very ambiguous. You
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. So I'm just gonna assume Capcom streaming the entire thing like they did with CEO last year, because Team Spooky has not been mentioned at all so far.
That's a good point.
So,
So for those who don't know, there is going to be an Ultra Street Fighter 4 Loc test at Final Round, and in addition, Combo Fiend went on record as saying the biggest mystery in Ultra Street Fighter 4 will be revealed at Final Round, which of course everyone assumes is the last character.
The biggest
And if it's not, there's going to be a
is-
lot of pissed off people.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
The biggest mystery is, what is this 7th button for?
Wait, what?
Oh, that's the run button. Thank you.
Yeah. I was gonna say, come
We
on.
can have
we figured
add
that
run
out
and
easily.
block.
Yep. We'll also add aggressor.
Revolutionary. Well, that's cool. I mean, I guess that's like, another good reason to go to the final round if you didn't have one already.
there are plenty of reasons to go to final round.
Yeah, and
It's
none of
just
them
kinda
involve
simple.
alcohol.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them.
Some of them do if you want to, but for the most part, every time I watch a final round stream, it just looks like a tournament that I really like to be at, sober or drunk. Like there's a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of tournaments where I go to where I'm just like, I'm just gonna get really hammered, and then I'm just gonna make this my own little fun world. Like NCR is sometimes like that, where I'm just like, I don't play these games. The final round always to me looked like it was something that was for everybody.
And the cool thing is, if you're one of those people who isn't necessarily big on a lot of the more regional tournaments because they can only afford to have time to run all the newest stuff, Final Round is another tournament that runs plenty of old man games, as we like to call them, and you'll be able to normally play on cabinets because they tend to show up every year with a couple of them.
Yeah.
So if you need to get Alpha 2 in, they tend to run it. Alpha 3, Vampire Savior, runs the gamut.
A bunch of old SNK games.
Yep.
Everything is played out there. Like that's one of the reasons why I really want to go to final round. It's just fun. And on top of that, the atmosphere in final round. I think no tournament has that atmosphere that everyone keeps talking about. Just pure shit talking, nonstop.
Yeah, not everybody there is good, but they're really good at telling you suck.
Exactly. I like this. I want to be around this. I want to soak in this. I just want to sit there and listen to all these people bashing me because I'm being their boy. Oh, this is so good.
The hate is glorious.
Yep. But it's
Gotta
one of
look
those
at
things
it.
that you should really go to, consider checking it out. And I believe, is this going to be the first East Coast test for Ultra?
I could have sworn he did something else.
No, there was one at NEC?
Oh yeah, NEC. And then there might be one for Winter Brawl, possibly, maybe. Who knows?
Is that right? I feel like that's right. I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sure.
there was one at NEC, if I remember right. I remember seeing people on Twitter talk about it.
And of course, Final Round is well known as a huge Tekken event, so those Tekken players are already flocking to this event anyway.
Tekken final round go together like just pizza and anything.
What I want to know is, like, do
It's
West
true.
Coast Tekken players go out there?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. See, West Coast doesn't travel outside of West Coast. The East Coast doesn't travel outside of East Coast. And that's a huge issue for every scene.
Although that's been changing a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Because of the last couple NECs, I'd say about 8 to 10 Air Dash players have been going out to NEC, a few Street Fighter players, and Valle has actually gone on record saying that this SCR is going to have probably some of the most East Coast representation at a West Coast
Wow.
tournament in a long time.
Yeah.
So
That's really good to hear.
it really is.
Also, they're called anime players, Paul. Not air dashers.
Air Dash is derogatory.
Oh, I'm going to kill the both of you.
I think that's quite the opposite, Chris.
Oh, shut up, you.
To be
You're
fair,
half Air
King
Dash.
of
You're
Fighters is
only
the first
half Air
anime
Dash.
game.
Well, okay, so we're on the topic of air dashers and anime. There's a petition, I guess, that's been started by, I believe, is it the people or the publisher of the latest Gear game on Steam?
Iska?
I only glanced at it myself, so I'm not 100% sure.
I think it's from the people, but I think it is in conjunction with the publisher, where they're just like, "Hey, if you guys really want this, show us some interest, and then we'll try and see if we can do something about it." And personally, I think that's cool as well.
I like to remind everybody before we get too hype about it that they brought Iska out on Steam, but for the most part, it's just the same old PS2 game. There's no online mode or anything like that. So I don't think this is a company that will, repurpose the game for online play or anything like that. It'll just get it out on a different format.
Yeah. To preface this is that we don't know how much hands-on they'll do, so make sure that you want them to keep the game up to date and certain features that you would want. Quick button select, online play, rematch.
Right. Because I look at their the company's name is KISS, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
KISS, and I mean, they seem legit, but I don't really get the feeling that they've done game development before.
It always sort of worries me when I see development, quote-unquote development studios that I've never heard of. They kind of sound like some guy in his garage porting games. So, I'm skeptical, but with the movement of Arc Systems Works to basically what appears to be only Sony consoles, with Chrono Phantasma only on PS3, and so far Xrd only being announced for PS3, PS4, it would be nice, I think, for people to have a different opportunity to get a hold of the games.
Yeah. Personally, I feel that with the way that the console industry is going, and how if you look at emulation, and you are supposed to be emulating certain cycles, and the way that CPUs and GPUs work for consoles, seeing how the architecture is pretty much exactly the same as a computer architecture, I'm sure that porting won't be too big of a deal, especially with games that are coming out post PS3 and Xbox 360. So your current gen titles probably pretty easy to put on computers and whatnot.
No, I agree. I mean, they're developed for arcades that are pretty much computers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, it already has like netcode and infrastructure. You just go in, touch stuff up. Probably, I'm sure there's way more finesse, and an oversight can really ruin everything about online play or any other features. But it's probably not too bad in this day and age. And I am one of the avid supporters of any fighting game on PC. I really wish that everything was just kind of PC for fighting games. Just think about it. You can go to Evo and have a PC, and if there was lag or any other problems, companies can just patch it like at any time. Don't have to worry about anything depending on the platform they use, or even if they don't. So it wouldn't be like this version sucks or whatever, because they could just fix the bad version, and then it's like, oh, whoops, we messed up. It's good again. So I don't know.
You mean like Halo 13?
Yeah.
And of course, speaking about Guilty Gear, footage from Xrd is starting to leak out more and more. That I guess this is the last beta test is what people are saying more and more now.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think they're going to release it after this.
And there's a lot of people very unhappy with the way this game looks.
Really?
I can't really blame them, because it does seem like I'm reading chat right now, and it does kind of seem like KOF 12y, where they were
You
just
feel like it's half finished?
Yeah, like it's half finished, like they're still trying out some stuff, and they're like, hey, well, as long as you're trying stuff out, let's make some money on it, and it's not just that, they have to put something out there to see how people are going to feel about it, I feel like it's probably better that they fall on their ass instead of just assuming that something won't work, and then to fix it later on and make a better game later, But yeah, I totally feel like Guilty Gear Xrd is unfinished. I mean, we've been talking about how the roster just looks tiny, and yeah, sure, they'll probably do like some kind of releasing of more characters later on, probably either time release or a console version, which will have extra characters that will be unlockable or something. But as far as an arcade game goes, I guess we just were looking for more from the next Guilty Gear.
It's hard because I haven't seen a lot of the most recent footage, but the most common complaint that I'm hearing about is that the game is significantly slower, and then the added features, yellow RCs and danger time, slow down the game even more.
Damn.
Apparently,
see-
danger time puts you into slow motion, basically.
That's weird. You see, I would like if yellow RC just kind of worked like chain shift from Under Night in Birth, where you kind of, it's like a Roman cancel, everything stops for a second, and then you can see what you want to do in the situation from there.
I mean, it kind of does do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's kind of what they do.
Oh,
actually.
well then, what's the problem? I mean, that sounds good.
Well, it's new. That's
Oh.
the thing.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
think the thing is, I think the hardest thing is it's going to be like when the shift from Guilty Gear to BlazBlue. The fact that the game is slower, people are not going to like it. Just end of story,
Right.
It's not the same, therefore this is a problem.
And I think, and it also is kind of messing things up because a lot of people were saying like this looks like it can be just as fast as the older Guilty Gear games, and I guess it could have been, but I don't think that's what they were going for. Like,
No, I
think they
definitely
were-
don't think they are either. I think what they're going for is hoping that the pace is slowed to the point where people who don't necessarily normally play Air Dash games, basically the Street Fighter 4 crowd, plays this game. That's
would
what
make
they
sense.
want. They want this to be a bigger, more popular game for everybody, not just this niche of players.
Because we're going to play it anyway. I don't know why people are complaining.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, that's probably true.
People like to complain. I think it makes it feel
That's
good.
true.
Or maybe it makes it
Like
feel
I s-
bad, but at least they can push their pain on the elders. And, they can feel that new word that might be official, sadden joy, because...
Well, here's the crazy thing, man. Like, if you're not happy with the way Exard looks, how come you're not playing Plus R?
Because that's an old game. It's not an HD. I can't play that game.
Yeah, don't you know? You can't have HD games. If the game's not HD, you can't be at EVO.
Mm-hmm.
Wizard said this like 2 years ago.
I think Chris might have walked off a short pier there. Not really sure what happened.
Just walked into a manhole. He's gone.
He's gone now.
Sorry, I just had like this crazy sharp pain in the side of my forehead.
Yeah. Hopefully, the next patch, I guess you can call it, the next revision for it, that comes out after the official release, makes it more enjoyable for the people who are playing it. That way, it's a better sign for us here in the West whenever we get it on console. Because I don't think we're going to be getting it in arcades unless Round 1 does something with Sega.
Hoping.
God, I hope
Crossing
so.
fingers. Fingers are crossed.
Well, they did say that they've already done something, right? They're already on Sega's AllNet system, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not entirely out of the question. In fact, I would say chances are pretty freaking high that it'll show up.
It's not out of the question, but there has to be a demand for it.
Right.
So that's that means everybody pick up your picket signs, go up to NorCal, go pick it outside the.
The construction site.
Yeah, no, go
We
go
want
go.
Exard.
Yeah, go pick it outside the Sega. Hell yes, Exer test. Start screaming
And
it
be
out.
sure to spam Round 1 on Facebook and Twitter and all other forums of social media. Tell them you want Guilty Gear Xrd here in the United States.
Yeah,
Actually,
change
change
that order.
bring up that kind of stuff. Like all right. So we know about this ASW campaign from the Norval Talkie YouTube videos because they already somehow got the publishers of Under Night in Birth interested in putting it on Steam, even though I think they already were. I still don't know exactly what they want us to do for ASW though. Like, is there like an actual official thing that we're supposed to sign our names on, or are we just supposed to be really loud on the internet?
I think you're supposed to send messages to the publisher on Facebook and email and stuff like that. It's all listed in the video.
It just doesn't seem real.
You say we need to get a change.org petition, and once we get 100,000 signatures, Congress has to do something about it?
I don't think it works like that.
Well, that's what it is,
Maybe I'm
actually.
wrong.
I mean, that'd be nice. But
Once you get 100,000, Congress has to think about it. So if you say, like, have a petition, put it on.
I don't think that Congress is gonna give
I mean,
a shit about video games.
They'll look at it and they'll be like, "What the hell is this?" and then move on.
Yeah, no, just kind of throw in the garbage. Just like,
this is a great way to.
But no, they
describe
have
the
to. They have to address the petition, but they'll address it with
Congress
The
as a
hell?
whole will crumple it up, yell Kobe, and throw it in the waste paper basket.
swish.
They get them outside the office like squad.
But I think the good news is that regardless of whether we get Xrd here in the States, there's still a lot of good games for Air Dash players to play. Obviously, BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma is doing pretty well, even though we still aren't even at the US release coming up in a month. And for people who are upset about that game, that's getting patched, and we will have that patch in May. The arcade version is getting patched next month. Then Persona 4 2 is coming out, and while I think that game looks like a pile of shit right now, we're not getting the console until the summer, so hopefully that gets patched before then.
Yay! Or 2 months after it releases, right? In the States.
Yeah, something.
Before we get to like it, yeah.
Honestly, I'm still all for Under Night In-Birth to come out sometime.
Oh hell yeah.
Please, I beg of you, French Bread, Ecole, whoever.
Here's my problem with that. So you guys were talking about Dengenki Bunko fighting earlier, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, I wasn't.
well, Tony and Kelly were talking about it, and Prince Bread's making that.
Yes.
Now here's what's pissing me off. So we all, if you were following Internet In-Birth, you know that French Bread was going to do a stream on January 31st, but it mysteriously got canceled because the guy, I forget his name, who usually runs it, was busy with things. Next thing you know, Kirito's in fucking Dengenki Bunko fighting Climax, and we still don't know what's going on with Internet In-Birth.
I think that's probably what happened. They probably just are kind of split because they've been working on that license game and trying to hammer that out. And while it's getting closer to release, I feel like we'll be definitely getting more back into the development of Under Night In-Birth, so hopefully we can see some more news out of that. Because I know they got characters in the back room they've been working on. They showed us a couple portraits and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
And like the thing is, like I'm hoping that it like Dengenki Bunko doesn't end up being one of those games that's just like so bad that it's good, and then Sega's like, oh man, we need you guys to support this, so why don't you make an update? And then French Bread's like, well, gotta pay them bills, son, so we're gonna start focusing all our energy on them.
it's the smaller third-party logic, like a WayForward or something. It's like, dude, WayForward, I love Shantae, and Sigma Star Saga was one of the sickest Game Boy Advance games I ever played. But also they put out like Shrek and Nicktoons and whatever, but it pays the bills. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Get the money, and then you can work on your pet projects. I mean, that's how it works in the real world. I mean,
But don't lose sight. That's my only advice to them is never lose track of what you're doing.
to all you paper and pencil pushers in cubicles, you know that you're saving up that money so you can do something that you truly enjoy. So, sometimes you got to put in the legwork. It might not be, your life's goal or your magnum opus, but you'll get to it.
Hopefully.
Yeah. That being said, come on. Just put Under Night In-Birth out already on PC. Are you on it? I know you guys like the PC. You put Melty Bread or Melty Blood on there. Melty Bread, well, the website.
Melty Bread.
You put the website on the computer.
I hear that's a common practice. It's hard to find websites when they're not on the computer.
Exactly.
I was searching my hand for a website the other day, and I just couldn't pull it up.
There's a nice website in my attic. It's just chilling in the corner.
Oh, just kind of lonely up there.
It is. Yeah, so, what else is going on this week?
Well, did Metal Slug finally come out, or is it still on its way?
It's still on its way. It's being tested right now. Arturo Sanchez and I have tested it East Coast and West Coast 2 patches ago. We should be doing another test soon to see what was fixed. But the last test we did was when it was working, it was perfect. But there were many desync issues between the two of us. We couldn't get past the first 3 levels because of desync. And we're told that it uses GGPO, so that's a good sign. But it's all in .mu's hands, it seems. So we'll see how this goes.
Also, Double Dragon Neon came out.
Yeah.
On Steam?
Yeah,
Yeah, on Steam. How much is it?
it's $10.
I might actually get that.
I
This
honestly have to
slug?
say. Oh, keep going.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say Metal Slug is $8 and it's on sale right now for $6.
Yeah, 25% off.
So pick it up now. It's worth it. Metal Slug game for $6. I'd pay for that, and I did.
I'm holding out for like the humble bundle.
The thing about Double Dragon Neon is it's a re-release, obviously, from the console versions, but this one has co-op, and I think it might be slightly
Wait,
different.
what?
Yeah.
The original didn't have co-op.
No,
Yeah,
it
what the
did,
hell?
but this has online co-op.
Oh.
You can play over an infrastructure of people connected to each other through wires. It's pretty magical, I'd imagine. But I'd have to say, my personal opinion on Double Dragon Neon is a game that I really enjoyed. The music obviously is great. Vert, Jake Kaufman is the composer. The gameplay is somewhat different than what you would expect from a traditional beat 'em up style game. It has all the same tried and true stuff in it, but it has special things. You can dodge, you can roll, it has gleam. Your run has a slow startup animation, but you can do several different things out of it. You get special moves and you collect tapes, and the 80s feel from it is really hilarious. It's a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, but has solid gameplay and just is an amazing experience. So I'd really say that you guys should at least try it. Maybe you won't get it, but go halves with a friend and go over to their house and play the game, because it's so entertaining, the entire thing. When I first got it, I was hanging out with my cousin and we played through the entire game, and we just had a big smile on our face the entire time. I don't know. That's just my personal experience. I give it the go for it. It's a great game.
You give it the. Actually, I don't know any word that rhymes with.
There's a
tongue.
Walkman seal of approval.
I
Yeah.
give it the high five.
There's a Walkman seal of approval. It's just one of the characters from Waku Waku 7, looking really sad, like, why did no one love me?
All I'm saying is, if I can get some sort of development team and some Kickstarter, we're going to be seeing Breakers 3 and Waku Waku 7 Part 2 out.
Breakers vs. Waka Waka 7?
Yeah.
That'd be sick. That'd be pretty cool.
Actually, I'd probably just make all the Sunsoft fighters, or not all of them, but at least the 2 SNK ones combined. So we have Galaxy Fight and Waku Waku 7 in the same universe.
There you go. Sick.
Yeah, they're actually on one game for PS2. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, the
Yep.
Sunsoft collection.
Good game. Fun game.
And in case you want the other 2 Sunsoft fighting games that were created, there's the one based off of, God, what's that game called? It was really weird. I think it's called Newtopia. No, that's wrong. It's something like that.
It's a TG16 game.
No, I know. It's a weird game. And then after that, there's Astra Superstars, which was made for the Sega Saturn. But those aren't on the Sunsoft collection, because Sunsoft collection is explicitly only the Neo Geo titles.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, what happened to Visco Games? They made like Bang Beat and disappeared, right?
Pretty much.
Wait,
Yeah, I
what?
would imagine.
Bang Beat?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said we were talking about Big Bang Beat.
No. Bang
Oh,
Beat.
that's what I thought you were talking about too. Damn.
No, I'm talking about Visco, the people who made Breaker's Revenge.
Oh.
That's like just half the companies that made games that were on TurboGrafx 16 or the MVS or the AVS or whatever. I swear to God, they all just imploded immediately.
What is
Things
this?
are updating. Oh!
According to Wikipedia, in 2008, Visco began manufacturing slot machines for casinos, mostly in Southeast Asian regions, and they also produce flat-screen LCD televisions, which have been sold at major retailers such as Walmart. So if you really like Breaker's
There you
Revenge,
go.
folks, go buy TVs.
Go buy a TV.
No, that's not
Wait,
gonna work.
those Jesus, those Visco TVs I see are at that Visco?
Yeah,
Holy
apparently.
shit.
Oh damn! All right, go Visco.
Good job, guys.
Bird Frog and TVs.
Yeah. So if you'd like to see Breakers 3, and with game producers, Walkman and Gibby at the heads, send us interest, and
Don't
maybe
laugh,
we'll
just go
maybe we'll cry and plead to SNK and get a Kickstarter going, and then not get enough money and have no development team, and then the dream won't happen. But if there's a perfect storm, maybe it will.
You always got to keep your head up.
Signs point to not likely. I think that's about it. Unless you'd like to wax poetic about Bravely Default for a few.
No, there's one thing I want to bring up prior to that.
Oh, there actually is. We have a real topic? Okay.
Yeah. So for those of you who love playing Real About Fatal Fury 2, Rotanabor is going to be holding a tournament on GGPO for it this Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Send him, if you're interested in joining, and if you have the Twitters, send him a message on Twitter at Rotanabor. That's ROTANIBOR. Jesus, my brain stopped for a second. Yeah, shoot him a message there. Let him know you're interested in joining. He's also going to be streaming the tournament on his channel, which is the same name, twitch.tv/Rotanabor. Be sure to check it out. It's going to be fun.
No,
I haven't played the game since 2008, I want to say, but I'm going to enter. It's going to be fun.
So it's Fatal Fury Special, right?
No, Real About Fatal Fury 2.
Oh, 2. Okay. And the thing is it's going to be on GGPO, right?
Yes.
And he's going to stream it from there. But GGPO doesn't have it natively in there?
No, you need to do the whole save state thing.
So, okay, are people going to get guidance into how to join and go use the unsupported games lobby?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do right now. I forgot how to do it, so I'm asking him where to get it. Well, I mean, I remember how to do it. I just don't remember where to get the save states from.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, there is some finagling which will need to be done, as Realbout 2 is not entirely, finger quotes, supported by GGPO.
Mm-hmm. It's not... you can play whatever Final Burn Alpha will play. There's a Final Burn
As long
Alpha.
as you work around.
Yeah. So, be sure to check it out this Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's sometime, I don't know what day in Japan, but it's a time and it's a date in Japan, so, be sure to check it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that they're in the same world as we are.
I know, it came as a shock to me.
In Japan, I believe that is at noon.
I don't care what you have to say.
Okay.
Wow, that's hateful.
It's noon
So-
on that Friday.
Yeah. So be sure to check it out. Subscribe to his Twitch channel. He streams a lot of Vampire Savior tournaments too, and the Vampire Saviors he streams really good. A lot of high-level U.S. matches that a lot of people don't really get to see. And follow him on Twitter. Talk to him on Twitter. Let him know you love him.
Let him know
Man.
you like games that nobody else plays, because he loves them.
Yep.
Those
And
are the ones I'm best at.
talk to him about Waka Waka 7 and Breaker's Revenge. I know he likes Waka Waka 7. Not sure about Breakers, but talk to him about Breakers. I think that's about all I have to say.
Yeah. Good, and then unless you guys want to talk about my article in that Japanese newspaper.
What article?
Oh yeah.
Forget about it. It's stupid. It's not even about me. It's just my face
Thank you.
plastered.
That's
on
all.
it.
That's all I wanted to know. I was like,
Hellpockets was featured in a Japanese news article. Everyone there, done. He's
They
popular.
took my photo, man.
He's big in Japan. There you
I
go.
can finally say that with full confidence.
Well, I wanted to say about the Bravely Default, because we did do a sort of a demo review when we first got it out. I just want to say
that we did.
the game's awesome. It's really good. It is slightly different from the demo. There's no grinding involved. The way I played it, I made sure that I was just walking around. I'm like, man, it seems like the encounter rate's a little low, so I actually turned it up to 50% increased encounters, and that's honestly almost made me slightly too powerful in certain situations, especially with the you can have the town that you can reconstruct, because you can get yourself some pretty strong later game items earlier. But it's definitely something that if you enjoy these styles of games, you're going to get hooked and love it, and you might play it for too long. There's definitely a lot of time I put into it. I think I put around 20 hours so far. I didn't play it at all yesterday, so to kind of slowed down a bit on it, but I played a little bit earlier today, and it's been going good. The game has a credible length. I'm probably near the end of chapter 2. I want to say that I am. I can't be certain. I think there are 5 chapters in all and an end. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do. It's really neat. It's a great game. Definitely pick it up, especially if you want a special edition, if you can even find them anymore. That's all I want to say about it.
So you're basically saying it's better than crack.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention as well, Skullgirls Encore is coming out on PSN tomorrow. So for all you people that own Skullgirls before, you get it for free. If not, go buy it, and then there will also be the DLC out for Squiggly. So get that while you still can. I think the Killers Pack will also be free because they couldn't make that free for the people that purchased it previously, so they're just going to kind of give it out, or it'll just be part of it as well. I mean, that's all vanity anyway, so if you don't want it, you don't have to get it, but if you do want it, go for it. If you do have to pay, I mean, you can support the developers or whatever you want, but it's pretty much up to date with how the PC version plays right now, and it's got a whole bunch of new patches, so definitely go check it out and see what some of the tweaks are. So get excited for that, folks. Bring it to tournaments, bring it to casuals, we'll play it.
There you go. Well, I guess that about sums it up for everybody here this week. We were -1 Alex Sanchez, but he showed up in the chat for a minute. I assume that when the show went down, he was just like, I'm not even bothering with these idiots this week. So if you happen to be attending SoCal Regionals, I believe all of us will be in attendance.
Yep.
So
Look us up. Get pictures with Super FX here.
God, I hate you.
He loves pictures.
Yeah.
He's very photogenic too.
Yeah, well, that's true, but I mean, I still don't like pictures.
Tony, you coming? You're coming, right, Tony?
Apparently I am. I mean, I have a bus ticket from my way down there and on my way back, and people have definitely said that they will pick me up from Union Station. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but we'll find out.
It's Alex. It's look. It's Sanchez. There's like about 0.20% chance of truth.
No, he'll be there. He'll just be late. That's what's going to happen.
It'll be after SCR is over.
There you go.
Hopefully my bus will stall somewhere in, the Grapevine, so that by the time I get there, I'll only have to wait 1 more hour for Alex to show up.
Yep. So, anything else? I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. So, with that, so long from Super Desperation Radio. Remember to follow us on Twitter and spam us with really annoying things, because we're just going to pawn them all off on Gibby anyway.
Yeah.
Yep, this is true.
So for everybody here, good night and good luck.